Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another video. Even though a majority of this game was basically the equivalent of a seesaw, one up, down, all game, the New Jersey Devils come out of this one 4-3 in overtime. And just based on the title of this video, I think you can kind of see where this is going to go. The Devils outshot the Sabres 40-32, still had problems in the face-off dot, lost a lot more than half of their draws. We know the penalty kill was pretty bad, but yeah, Pavel Zacha deserves a major apology from me and probably a bunch of us out there for all the slander, all the garbage that we say about this man, and he just shuts us right up. See, this is the thing. I may say a lot of garbage about Pavel Zacha, but in one of my previous recap or even preview videos, I've talked about how Pavel Zacha could be good if he's just not a dummy like he is most of the time. I think it's pretty reasonable to say that Pavel Zacha has the physical and like tools and hands and shot and all that skating. He has that. He's just a dummy with the puck. He just makes dumb decisions and just could not put it together. Now he's riding an 8-game point streak and he leads the team in points. So I think it's pretty reasonable to say that he figured it out. And I mean, he still does dummy things here or there, but Pavel Zacha, I am sincerely sorry. Another big thing that went on in this game, it seemed like, is the bottom two lines of the forward groups were mostly invisible the entire night. I mean, Gusev's name came up a couple of times, and even Wood. I mean, Wood scored a goal, but that was on the power play. But this team has been carried by first line of Hughes, Palmieri, and Janssen for a little bit now, and this was really the first game where the Nico line of Bratt and Zacha really put it together, and the top two lines were so dangerous, and this is the first time we got to see that. They all just look like they have so much chemistry together, and I'm so glad that once again Pavel Zacha is like finally putting it together because he makes for a great winger on that line. Brad is just has so much pure skill, and he sure can put it together all up front around the net. And then Zacha with that beautiful shot. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster for other teams. And like I mentioned earlier, we still have the Hughes line that's still generating so many great A's just around the net and all over the place. Hughes is literally just better than everybody else. It's only a matter of time till the entire world recognizes that Jack Hughes is the single greatest NHL player in the entire league. Yes, better than McDavid and Crosby and Draisaitl and Kane all combined times 20. Speaking of Jack Hughes being better than everybody else, I think the power play looked really well tonight too. There were a couple of instances in the second period where they just couldn't get a goal, but they moved the puck around pretty well. I think it definitely got progressively better towards the end of the game. I know the first two were like, okay. The second one was much better than the first one. But then once they got the double minor, Hall, once he took the double minor penalty, they scored on the first one, and it was a typical goal that Miles would score, a greasy rebound in front of the net kind of goal. And in the remaining 2 minutes of that power play, once they scored that goal, they still moved the puck around pretty well. They had Janssen out there, they had Zacha out there, and they were just moving it around, just couldn't do anything. And yes, I have to bring it up again. The penalty kill was 2 for 4 on the night, giving up 2 penalties. They're giving up 2 power play goals, and there really needs to be a serious question about whether Elaine Nazardine should even consider taking the team bus or plane or whatever back to Newark, New Jersey, and coach another game on Saturday afternoon. I don't really think it should be possible. This dude's producing the single worst penalty kill in the history of the league. This league has been here for a century, and we have the worst penalty kill in a century. Something structurally doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right at all. I mean, they're playing this diamond kind of system where it's one up top, 2 on the wing, and 1 defenseman kind of like in the slot area. But then they'll just counter with like a simple umbrella and have 2 guys on the wing, 1 at the point, and 1 in front of the net. And It's literally not a problem. Sam Reinhart was found wide open. That's the second time now against Buffalo, but I mean, we won, so we'll figure that stuff out later. And not to mention, there are a couple of guys that I mentioned a little bit earlier that really turned the tides up this game and really stepped it up. Nico had a goal. He was first of the season after coming off the injury. Brad had a goal and assist. I think he actually had 2 assists. And Ty Smith, he got a point on the power play goal by Wood, and then he got a point, I believe, on the overtime goal. I think it was from Smith and Bratt. But yeah, those guys, like I said, that Zacha, Bratt, and Nico line was really the first sign we got to see of them clicking. If everyone can put it together, if that Hughes line can start to finish a little better, get a little more from Zajac's line, just start to finish on the fourth line, we really don't need any kind of defense. I know it's not going to be like this every night, but if we have two really sick lines, and we just need one that's going, and then the other one will figure it out. So that's good to see. The Devils have 2 more afternoon games coming up this weekend, both against the Capitals, both at home. 1:00 on Saturday, 3:00 on Saturday, and then we're already into March. It's crazy. Usually by this time, the trade deadline would have came and passed, and the Devils would have had nobody except the entire roster of the Binghamton Devils. But that's not going to be happening for a couple of more weeks. After being the more dominant team throughout the entire game, the Devils took this one 4-3 in overtime to secure the 2 points. So with that said, I'm going to end the video there. Thank you if you decided to stay the whole time. Not only should you like and subscribe, but you should also comment for what you thought of the video, what you thought of the game, and things you want to see in the future. You should be sure to check out the Twitter page at IceNJD. I'm going to have a link in the description below, so you can just click on it and just follow me from right there. I post live Twitter updates about the team, live reactions to goals and stuff like that, and live updates within the game, and just really anything Devils and hockey related. So with that said, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. It's good to do one of these when we win again. Let's go Devils. Sean out.